Hello and welcome to our latest unboxing video. I am Eliza here at the Hatfield Public Library, and before I get started, I just have a quick announcement for everyone who is local. You may know we were open 1 day a week, and then we were open 2 days a week, and now we are going to be open 5 days a week, still limited hours, really just 3 hours per day, but hopefully we can just use this as a transitional step and then launch into our full-time hours. I don't have a date yet, but hopefully soon. I'm so excited about this. I just, libraries help so many people. They're the foundation of democracy, and it's just been breaking my heart to limit our services behind closed doors. So yes, we are open. If you live around here, stop by. Now, to our unboxing. I have a really big box of adult books, a mix of fiction and nonfiction, a few audiobooks. I was like, this is too much for a video. I'm going to divide it in half and do 2 videos, but I started going through the box. I was like, I'll just take half the books randomly off the box, and then they were just so many good books that I was like, oh my God, I just have to do this whole box. So I'm going to try to just boom, 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 go through all 22 books and match the audiobooks, and then any audiobooks that don't get matched, I'll just hold up at the end. So on your mark, get set, go! We're going to start with a thriller, a political thriller by Steve Berry, and it's called The Kaiser's Web. So I'm guessing there's a historical element to that. Yes, World War II. Ooh, this is a good one because I am actually listening to this one right now on the audiobook, and it is so good. It's called How Beautiful We Were, and it's about a town, a village, in a fictional country in Africa that's sort of been taken over by oil companies, and the people are all getting sick, and it's sort of heartbreaking, but then they find a way to fight back. Ooh, another thriller. This one, I believe, is contemporary. It's C.J. Box, Dark Sky, a Joe Pickett novel. I kind of like this cover, just the silhouette. It sounds like kind of like a thriller mystery. Game warden must guide a Silicon Valley CEO on a hunting trip, but soon learns that he himself might be hunted. Lisa Scottoline, Eternal. I'm guessing from the cover that this is historical fiction, maybe World War II. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, it takes place in Rome. This is Lisa Scottoline's first ever historical novel. And, it is World War II, but it's World War II Italy. Nice map on the inside cover. I'm just going to bring some books over here. So I don't bring my whole box closer. There we go. Okay. Stephen King. Look at this light little paperback. Sometimes Stephen King has these like really heavy tomes, and it kind of has like a pulpy look to it, which is sort of fun. It's like a throwback, and I'm trying to ffigure out. It sounds like a child born with unnatural abilities, a killer. It sounds like Stephen King doing Stephen King-y type things. This one is by George Saunders. It's called A Swim in the Pond, A Swim in a Pond in the Rain. Sounds like a novel, but this is actually literary, it's criticism, which is sort of interesting. He looks at 4 Russian authors and learns lessons about writing, reading, and life. Chekhov, Turgenev, Tolstoy, and Gogol. 7 essays. The Last Garden in England. I like this cover. Very intriguing. But what is it going to be about? A novel by Julia Kelly. It's got multiple timelines. 3 timelines. Present day. Woman living in a house with a long neglected garden. 1907, a garden designer designing a garden in a very fancy house. And then 1944, about, I guess, like life in the house during the war. I Sorry, that one was a little, but yeah, I think that something maybe happened to the garden. It would be interesting to see. We Begin at the End by Chris Whitaker. This sounds like a contemporary novel about a guy who's a police chief. His best friend has been in prison for decades and just got out. He ends up being responsible maybe for a 13-year-old girl who's causing some trouble. So maybe a relationship book, life drama, stuff like that. We all know about that stuff. The Codebreaker. This one is heavy. It's thick, but I'm guessing maybe also they used the good paper, or there's photos. So The Codebreaker by Walter Isaacson, very popular nonfiction author. This is called, the subtitle is Jennifer Doudna, Gene Editing and the Future of the Human Race. Okay, this next book is called Useful Delusions, The Power and Paradox of the Self-Deceiving Brain. Can we use self-deception to help us? Interesting concept. I realized I forgot. I said I was going to match the audiobooks. I'm just going to do the Stephen King. We have a match. How Beautiful We Were. We have a match. And We Begin at the End. We have a match. And I just happen to know that none of the other audiobooks have matches, so I'm just going to do them real quick. Here in the middle of the video, we have Cicely Tyson's Just As I Am, which is her, I guess, autobiography. And Better Luck Next Time. This is already proved a popular book. We have it at the library. It's about a divorce ranch in Reno in the 1930s. Good Neighbors, about a picture-perfect suburban neighborhood where stuff is lurking beneath the surface. It's always lurking beneath the surface. Okay. We have The Committed by Viet Nguyen. And this is, I guess it's a sequel to The Sympathizer, I think, or it's a follow-up. I think it's not a sequel. I think you can read it even if you didn't read his first book. And the first book, The Sympathizer, was a worldwide hit. And this one is about a man who moves to Paris in 1980s. And start dealing drugs. Every Last Fear by Alex Finlay. And, this is, I think I read his other book. What was it called? I would think they would tell you. Was it The Silent Patient? I think it was The Silent Patient. So that was definitely a page turner and twisty, breathtaking. Okay. So a whole family dies, and then you sort of have to figure out what happened. It's a grim premise. It's always hard when a whole family dies. I feel like I can handle one person a little better. The Danielle Steele is called The Affair. I already have patrons who've been asking for this one. And it's about a woman at a high-end fashion magazine. I'm guessing somebody has an affair. She has to discover who she really is. All those things. Oh, Mary Lawson. Mary Lawson is a longtime favorite author of mine. I really loved Crow Lake. And this is A Town Called Solace. She just is so good about writing about family and emotions and family secrets. And this is about a family where the 16-year-old daughter is missing and the family's in crisis. I'm trying to figure out where it is. I think her other books were in Canada, but this doesn't give a location. So I have The Paris Library by Janet Skeslien Charles. This seems so familiar. Is this like our second copy, or maybe we got the audiobook? I don't know. This looks so familiar to me. 1939. Oh, two timelines. Paris, 1939, and then about a librarian. Oh my gosh, I love stories about librarians. And then the other one is Montana, 1983. A girl becomes interested in her elderly neighbor. So I wonder if there is a connection. This is one I'm super excited about. It's just been getting really good reviews. Detransition Baby. Actually, one of our staff just read this and recommended it. Said it was really easy to read. She just went right through it. And this is about about 3 women, transgender and cisgender, whose lives collide after an unexpected pregnancy. So, and so it's interesting. It's also about sort of wanting to be a mom, which is, I mean, something I'm always interested in. It is a lot of books. It's a lot. Yeah, I realize I don't have Amber here, so I'm doing them all myself. Klara and the Sun. Whoosh, I already read this because Kazuo Ishiguro is one of my favorite authors. And so I read it really fast, and it was very interesting. It's told from the perspective of a robot, basically. They call her an artificial friend. So much emotions. He just manages to pack so much emotions in, and again, a little more unconventional than a lot of maybe what people read. But if you're open to trying something a little different, I would really recommend them. Also, really good on audio. Dusk, Night, Dawn on Revival Encouraged by Lamott. And Remember by Lisa Genova. This is The Science of Memory and the Art of Forgetting. So she has previously written fiction, but this one, nonfiction. The Sum of Us, How Racism Costs Everyone and How We Can Prosper Together by Heather McGhee. I love this premise of the book because I really do feel like racism really just does so much damage to our entire society. Oh, and it sounds like she's an economist, so that's also an interesting way to look at things. I have the last 2 books, and then we'll have an empty box. So this one is Harlan Coben, Nguyen. He writes thrillery things. And last of all, I'm really glad we got to this one because I think it's one that people are going to be excited about. It's The Kitchen Front by Jennifer Ryan. And 2 years into World War II, Britain is feeling the loss and things are tough. And there's a BBC radio program called The Kitchen Front that's holding a cooking contest. And the grand prize is a job to be the program's first ever female co-host. Ooh, this is such a good premise. And this is by the author of the Chilbury Ladies Choir, which is was also just like a super popular book here. So I think people are going to want to snap that up. I made it through my really big box. You can see how big this box is. We'll have to see if next time, if I divide the books or if I decide to just do like a whole marathon all by myself again. But if you made it through to the end, thank you so much. Definitely subscribe to the videos. Definitely stop by the library if you live locally, and we will just be getting these books on the shelf as fast as we can. Thanks so much.